In today's video, we're going to break down exactly how many Primogems you can expect to collect during the first half of version 6.0. With Nodkrai making his big debut alongside LAUMA's release and Nahida's rerun, a lot of players are wondering just how many free pulls we'll have to work with before the banners switch. So, let's break it all down in detail, and I'll also share some personal thoughts along the way, so you know how this compares with earlier major updates like the start of Natlan or Fontaine. And before we dive into all of this, if you are trying to get LAUMA or even Nahida from the first half of 6.0, save up to 30% on current banners at LDShop. Plus, with my coupon, you'll get an extra 5% discount, which is a huge 35% off in total. Like this one, you can get 6,480 Genesis Crystals pack for just $68, which normally costs $100 in the game. And if this is your first purchase, you get double the amount of Genesis Crystals. The process is super fast. Pick your product, choose your server, enter your UID, and that's it. Your purchase arrives in under 5 minutes, and LDShop ensures secure payments every time. Plus, if you spend over $80, you'll get a free Welkin Moon. Interesting, right? So use my link in the description or pinned comment to get 35% off and save big on every top-up. First off, let's talk about the main story content. Every new region in Genshin has always dropped a good chunk of Primogems right at the start, and Nodkrai is no exception. From the Archon quests and the first set of side story chapters in the opening half, you're looking at around 710 Primogems plus 2 free pulls. Sometimes Hoyoverse converts those into flat Primogem rewards, so it might end up closer to 320. But either way, that's a guaranteed pool just from diving into the story. On top of that, extra quests scattered around the region add another 250 Primogems during these early days. Basically, you're being rewarded just for doing what you do anyway, playing through the fresh lore and meeting characters like LAUMA. This has always been the pattern, whether you think back to Sumeru's opening acts or Fontaine's dramatic debut, and version 6.0 is keeping that same tradition. Now, the real treasure trove in any new expansion is exploration. Think back to how massive Natlan felt when it first dropped, chests everywhere, achievements for even the simplest actions, and the offering system slowly building up. Nodkrai follows the same path. From exploration alone in the first phase, you're looking at roughly 1,500 Primogems. Then, the new offering system that unlocks right away adds another 750 Primogems, just by collecting local materials and leveling it up. Achievements tied to puzzles and early combat challenges contribute another 200 Primogems. So simply wandering around, gliding over landmarks, and solving puzzles quickly stacks into one of the most reliable sources of free pulls in these first few weeks. It's that same feeling Fontaine gave us with the Fountain of Lucine. You don't notice how fast the gems pile up until you suddenly check your balance after a couple of sessions. Of course, we can't forget about the classic livestream rewards. 3 redemption codes worth 100 Primogems each, so a total of 300 Primogems, handed out right before or during the update. Then comes the maintenance compensation. That's another 300 Primogems for downtime plus 300 more for bug fixes, adding up to 600 guaranteed when the servers reopen. At this point, most of us probably have the routine memorized. Log in, open your mail, collect your gems. Next up are the events, which always fuel the Primogem flow. The main event of 6.0 gives out about 990 Primogems, while one smaller event adds 420. This matches what we've seen in past patches, the flagship event hovering near 1,000, and the side events landing in the 400 range. And importantly, both are completable before the phase switch, so you don't miss out. But the biggest highlight in the first half is the anniversary rewards. The 5th anniversary celebration drops a staggering 1,600 Primogems plus 10 intertwined fates, or the equivalent in flat Primogems depending on how they package it. This is one of the largest single-time rewards we've ever had, timed perfectly for late September so it lands before Phase 2 begins. If you remember the 2nd anniversary where we only got 10 pulls, or the 3rd where fans were divided, this year feels like Hoyoverse is really stepping up. And honestly, it seems clear they want Nodkrai's debut to hit as hard as possible. Now let's not forget the permanent content, the backbone of every patch. Daily commissions across the roughly 21 days from launch to the Phase 1 cutoff add up to 1,260 Primogems. It may feel small day to day at 60 Primogems per login, but over 3 weeks it stacks nicely. Paimon's bargain shop is another boost. You can grab 5 25 intertwined fates at the monthly reset, which is worth about 800 Primogems. And then there are the ongoing systems. The Imaginarium provides about 650 Primogems through its challenge floors this half, while the new Stygian Onslaught combat mode adds another 450 Primogems. Finally, Spiral Abyss remains one of the most lucrative repeat sources. Clearing the reset cycle in the first half nets you around 800 Primogems, making it one of the best returns for skilled players who can push through the harder floors. And hey, if you've stayed with me this far, thank you. It really helps if you hit that like button to support the channel. And if you want to keep up with all the updates, guides, and breakdowns, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next one. When you put all of these sources together, story, exploration, events, anniversary rewards, and the steady permanent systems, the totals for the first half are honestly impressive. From September 10th to around September 30th, completely free-to-play players can gather about 10,255 Primogems, plus 17 fates, which equals roughly 81 pulls. Now, if you're also picking up the Blessing of the Welkin Moon, that total climbs to around 12,145 Primogems, with the same 17 fates, bringing you close to 93 pulls. And if you add the Battle Pass on top of that, the grand total rises even higher, 12,825 Primogems plus 21 fates, which works out to about 101 pulls in just the first half of version 6.0. That's a solid amount of potential for characters like LAUMA, who's making her debut as this powerful new addition, or Nahida if you're aiming for her constellations or just missed her before. But what I will say is that this amount of free pulls in the first half gives you great flexibility. If you've been saving for LAUMA's kit, which looks insane based on the previews, this phase is a prime opportunity. And if you're newer and building your roster, the mix of Primogems and Anniversary Fates is a safety net that's stronger than what we saw in the early parts of previous updates. So, when you look at the full picture, the first half of 6.0 isn't just about Nodkrai's story or the Anniversary hype. It's about giving every player, whether free-to-play or lightly spending, the chance to snag a character they've been eyeing, especially with Nahida's rerun pairing perfectly for Dendro teams. It's generous, it's timed well, and it definitely feels like Hoyoverse is making a statement with this milestone patch. But that's just how I see it. What about you guys? Do you think this is one of the strongest opening phases so far? Are you planning to throw all these Primogems at LAUMA's banner, or are you holding some back for Nahida? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments because everyone's strategy is going to be different depending on their roster and favorites. And that's going to wrap up today's breakdown. If you found this useful and want to keep up with more detailed Genshin Impact breakdowns, guides, and updates like this, don't forget to subscribe. We've got a lot of exciting content coming as 6.0 rolls out, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. And don't forget to join our Discord server. The link is in the description. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to drink water. I will see you in the next video.